Welcome to another episode of Founders Club. Today I'm going to be talking to Mike Cuevas, the founder of Real Estate Marketing Dude and host of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast with over 1 million listeners. In this episode, we're going to be breaking down a proven marketing plan for realtors to do more deals, outlining 5 ways to improve your real estate lead generation, and sharing some awesome real estate marketing tips for you to get more deals from your sphere of influence. If you have any questions, put them in the box down below. As always, make sure you judo chop that like button so other people just like you can find this video. We also have a free Facebook group that you can join. We'll put the links down below in the comments. And as always, if you like money and you like real estate, this is the show for you. We'll see you on the inside. Welcome to Founders Club, the show for real estate entrepreneurs. Sitting here with Mike Cuevas, the real estate marketing dude. Excited to have you here. Why don't we just kind of start with how you got in the real estate game? Because I know you started there, and then I want to talk about your transition, and then I want to get into some tactics and strategies.
All right. Thank you for having me, Oliver. I just laughed when you said talk about my transition. My transition. It's like, anyways, I'll swear. Hi, I'm Mike Cuevas, the real estate marketing dude. Thanks for having me back. How I got there, I mean, I've always sold real estate as an agent since college. It was the only job I really ever had. And then I just got sick of it, to be honest with you. It's why I moved out here, to be closer to all of you guys. But before I did that, I understood that I had to build a brand or build something tangible to take with me. Otherwise, whatever ended up that I was going to be selling wouldn't quite ever work that way. So we started a podcast in 2015 called Real Estate Marketing Dude. Today we actually sell video services to real estate agents, lenders, and investors. But that wasn't even in the plan back then. Like, that wasn't even in the plan till like a year ago, 2 years ago out here. But I understood the value of building an audience even without having anything to sell, because I knew one day I would have to monetize it. So we started 2 years in advance, and that's sort of how I ended up doing what we're doing now, which is the podcast, video services, and all of that other stuff. So I imagine we'll talk about that.
Yes, we will. We will be jumping into all of that. Because one thing that I do, one of the main reasons I wanted to have you on is because I know you're kind of at that like forefront of what's happening in the real estate marketing space, what's happening in video, what's happening in social, what's happening in retention and engagement and increasing all of those things. So how about let's start with like big picture. I want to talk about what are you seeing agents winning with right now?
I think everything is brand. The only way you win with anything is with brand right now, because what's happening with real estate agents is that they're getting cut out from any which way but sideways. Everyone's buckling them at the knees, and everyone's coming after their commission. So they're devaluing the value of a real estate agent in a lot of different ways. So the bigger their brand is, the more they combat against it. The problem is that nobody knows what I just said. No one knows what does it mean to have a brand. Like, oh, I'm a real estate agent. I work at a brokerage. And in your guys' case, I work at Big Block Realty. Well, Big Block Realty is a great company, but it's not their job to produce them business. It's their job to produce them business. Therefore, they have to grow their own brand, and Big Block can just make all the other tedious shit that goes into practicing real estate easier, right? So you have to build it because it's just a giant popularity contest. Because people are like, why is that agent doing all these deals? It's like, that dude's just way more popular than you are right now. He's not fucking smarter than you. He just has more friends that know what he does. Because if you ask that agent where all of his business comes from, he's gonna be like, well, it comes from relationships. It's not coming from lead generation. It's not gonna be coming from Zillow leads or any of these other sources. It's gonna come from the people you already know. And that only happens when you have a brand.
So let's talk about that, because I agree that probably went over a lot of people's heads in terms of like a lot of people think having a brand means I have a logo on my business card.
Yep.
Expand on that for me and kind of talk about overall what having a brand means as a real estate professional and what it does for your business.
So here's what having a brand means in stupid Homer Simpson terms, as Oliver will say. A brand is how many people right now, if they say the word real estate, instantly associate your name with it. That determines how damn big your brand is. So your brand is how people remember what you do in our business, at least in terms of real estate. So My brand is Real Estate Marketing Dude, and I'm Mike Cuevas. What I do is explained in my brand. See, real estate agents need to realize that they are the brand, not their brokerage. So it's not, hey, I work for real estate. It's, hey, I'm in real estate. But when that term is said, how many people actually associate your name with that term determines how big the brand is. And that can only you can only increase that by being in front of people and creating content and making sure people know what it is you do. So if people say it's very hard to, what is a brand, if that's the question? Well, a brand is how many people instantly associate what you do with it. So that's why you have to create a brand.
So give me some examples of some winning brands in the real estate space.
So
as a, individual realtor or small team.
So let's go a little bit deeper. So let's say my name's Mike Cuevas. How does everyone know Mike Cuevas is in real estate? Well, Mike Cuevas is always out there on social media creating content about being in real estate. Maybe sometimes that's in Facebook Live walking through a cool man cave, or other times it's me posting something where I'm walking through another house, or I'm showing cool views, or maybe I'm doing a case study about my client. But when people think of Mike Cuevas, they're like, oh, there's that real estate guy that's always on video. Or there's that guy on social media I always say, like, walking through houses. So there's that guy that always does this. Everybody has something they're known by. So in our business, it's got to be known that you sell real estate, because that's what our business is. You're always talking about it. Mm-hmm. So all of these agents that are doing really well, they all have a good social following. You ever notice that? It's because they have a brand. Mm-hmm. So your brand is just how many people associate what you do with real estate, is the way I like to word it.
So, okay, so if that's brand, then let's talk about how do we get more people to associate us with real estate.
You have to create content.
Okay, perfect.
You have to create content to build your brand. So let's put it in a different word. The way that you build your brand is through constantly sort of reminding people that you're in real estate. So if I'm a real estate agent and I just log on to Facebook and I see my old Aunt Sue, that fucking bitch, just bought or sold a house without me. All right. It's not Aunt Sue's job to remember that you're in real estate. It's your job to constantly remind her. The problem you had with Aunt Sue, though, is that every time you see Aunt Sue, it's usually with your kids, or it's usually on a family basis. And anytime you interact the content exchange has nothing to do with you being in real estate. So how the hell is Aunt Sue going to remember you're in fucking real estate? Well, you got to create content that sort of tells Aunt Sue that you're in real estate, because it's not her job. So content is anything we do. It's taking pictures of cool shit we see. It's anything. There's a whole damn television channel dedicated to it. So just copy that. Take pictures. Share your story. Everybody that we see that, like, here's what it comes down to. Let me rewind.
Yeah, let's break it down.
It's not a job. It's a lifestyle. Okay?
Agreed.
So what do I mean by that is that Facebook is nothing more than a giant place to share your daily story, right? The shit you do is a reflection of the person you are. So you're always taking pictures with your kids or whatever, but you're also always taking pictures of houses or whatnot if you're in real estate. That's what people do in their profession. For me, I'm always taking pictures of videos, of background shots. Maybe we're doing stories and I'm shooting someone on green screen, but I'm always creating sort of background content as well as ongoing content, like my podcast, like my video series, because if I stop, then I stop selling my shit. The reason why I stop selling my shit is because someone else is going to take over that person's attention.
Right. Okay. So let's keep playing with this. So if brand is association with what you do, and getting more people to associate is the name of the game, and content is the vehicle, let's talk about, and I agree with what you said about it being a lifestyle, because what we have to remember is that most people, they go to work every day, they're in a cubicle or they're in their same office every day, nothing ever changes. And so for us, we're out there, we're looking at real estate deals, we're looking at crazy real estate problems. We're looking at beautiful turnkey properties once they've been, flip ready, ready for market, different things like that. So is that what you're talking about? Or break down to me how we can, because what it's not look at my new listing at 123 Banana Street and look at this. I just closed this over here because I think that's what everyone does, and that's just part of the noise that people just kind of skim over?
Here's where people get confused by it, because you have to first look at who buys your shit. So for me, who buys my shit. I create video services for real estate agents, lenders, and anyone in the real estate industry. We want to script, edit, and distribute their videos. So I create content, and I put that content in front of those people. Now, for a real estate agent, you guys have to realize that your 85+% of your business is going to come from the people you already know, your Facebook friends, your email list, your IG friends, and all of that. So therefore, when you're creating content, you're really creating it for the people you already know and not a bunch of strangers. And that's why it's so complicated for people to understand and distinguish the difference.
Okay, let's talk about that.
So, but it's what do you create? So if I would just call Oliver every time me and you spoke, and I'm like, hey, dude, let's just talk about work. 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 Well, eventually you'd be like, fucking, this sucks. Mike just wants to talk about work. I'm going to tune him out. And you can't really maintain a relationship by doing that. However, if I created content that sort of reminded people about what you do, it's a lot different of a conversation to have, but you're still having one. Okay. So we can't create content. We don't have to sell people our shit all the time. That's the problem. Like, no one cares about your just listed, just sold.
So connect the dots for me. What are we doing and how are we doing it?
Storytelling.
Okay.
Anytime you create content, it just needs to remind people what you do for a living. That could mean a picture of a kitchen. That could be a bathroom. It could be a happy client holding keys to their new house in front of it. But the point is that it's not, content isn't for you to sell your shit. It's for you to remind people you fucking exist, period. So do it in the form of a story. And it all builds your brand. Right. Like, we have to create conversation with people. If we don't consistently create conversation, then we're hidden.
So, okay, so that's the part I want to break down. I want to talk about sphere of influence marketing, because I know that's your bread and butter, and according to NAR, that's where most of the business comes for almost every real estate professional out there. So how do we build our sphere, and how do we nurture the sphere?
Well, the good news is everyone already has a sphere. You have a Facebook friend list. If you don't have any friends, then you don't have a sphere, I guess. But if you have friends, you have a sphere. Every single one of those people on your sphere, they all live somewhere. They're not like living out of a box, and it's not a matter of if they're going to move, it's when. And statistically, that shows people in city living is 3 to 5 years. More rural areas are like 4 to 9. Do the math in your market. It's 5 to 7. That's what averages out. So if you take a group of people and you have, like, for example, if I have 100 people on my Facebook friend list, well, statistically, 10 to 15% of them are moving this year. It's a fact. So fuck yeah, I'm going to stay in front of those people, because that's easy picking. Like, that, to me, that makes just common sense. Of course I'm going to stay in front of those people, because if I don't, those are the ones I log on to Facebook and find out that they bought or sold a house without me. Now, of those same 100 people, though, 100% of them know someone that they can refer me to. And over 60% of all agent business comes from referrals. So therefore, if I want to create a referral marketing plan or strategy, I need to create content and put in front of the people that are responsible for referring me. Does that make sense?
Yes, couldn't agree more. And I think what a lot of people think about when they think of sphere of influence and database, they think they need 500, 1,000, 10,000 names. And it's really, you need like 100 to 200. And to your point, if 20% of your list gave you a referral every year and 10% gave you a direct transaction, then you're going to be winning the game. And at the end of the day, you just multiply that back into your sphere, add those referrals, add those customers, stack it up over time.
That's exactly what happens. My first, I started when I was 22, so I didn't get my first listing until I was like 27. That's 5 years. And the reason why I didn't get my first listing was because none of my friends could afford fucking houses back then. I mean, like, I started selling higher priced houses because my friends started making more money, not because I switched up my marketing plan. Mm-hmm. It's the exact same thing. So you hang out, the people that you surround yourself with is just where most of the business is going to come from, either way.
So how do you market to your sphere without being annoying, spammy, relationship burning, etc., outside of, like, obviously connecting on Facebook and posting?
So, excuse me, I always did a 3-prong approach. We still do it today. It's the same thing in practice, but it's what Bed Bath & Beyond and everybody does to you. So if I go to Oliver's house right now I could go in his kitchen drawer in his house, and I guarantee he's got a 20% off coupon just sitting there from Bed Bath & Beyond or Bye Bye Baby or one of these fucking stores. They all have the same marketing plan, which is why you should adopt it. Well, why are they still sending me direct mail, Oliver? I thought that doesn't work anymore. And for whatever reason, Oliver doesn't know why he doesn't throw away the fucking 20% off coupon. But for some reason, it just sits there and collects dust. Oliver goes to the store, and he gets there. He goes to the checkout counter. He's like, fuck, I forgot my 20% off coupon. Where the fuck am I? Why'd I forget it? So he starts scanning his email for the same damn coupon because they're also consistently sending it to him via email and direct mail now, too. Now, Oliver gets a couple of the coupons from his email, but he leaves the store, and they say, hey, would you like me to email your receipt? He says yes. Then all of a sudden, the towels start following him around the fucking internet, and boom, they're everywhere all the time. So they're seen on social, they're seen on email, they're seen on social media, and all it is be everywhere all the time and take on an omnipresent approach because people give in to the one they see the most, and they refer the one they see the most. They repeat business with the one they see the most. So take the exact same concept to your sphere. So with our system, what we do is we automate direct mail to a sphere, for example. No one cares what the hell's on the direct mail piece. It's just tangible. And if I'm farming my entire database, like if I have 150 people that call it your wedding list, we've all invited over 200 people to our wedding, so there's your fucking direct mail list, plus add your past clients, and there you have it. But if I farm those people with direct mail, and there's 300 people on the list or 200 people on that list, there is 20 to 30 deals right there. Now, the question is, am I going to get the call when those people are ready to buy or sell? Well, I increase my chances by sending them a fucking postcard once a month. Yep. That's a good use of money, in my opinion.
So what's your recommended content mix? Because I'm hearing you say email, social, and physical.
I used to do 2 direct mail pieces a month to my sphere. You only need to do 1. It doesn't matter what you send them. It's tangible, and 100% of them will get it. So even if they pitch it in the trash, they still physically engage with you, which is great for branding. Now, then I would send 1 to 2 video emails a month, depending on whatever the content strategy is. I would wish holiday greetings back then. Today I would be creating content. So it doesn't matter. It was just another way to stay in front of them via email because you have to create content. I can't say, hey, real estate market update, send, because no one's going to open that. Yeah. So what the hell's the purpose of sending in the first place?
Okay, good distinction. So, and I do agree because I think your videos are amazing on when you're going in this lane right here. So break it down a little further. Because you are sending a lot of really cool videos around holidays, around milestones, around things like that.
So you could send 4th of July's coming up. I like Valentine's as the easier one, but you could just literally mimic the Hallmark greeting card strategy by just wishing people happy holidays and defining what the fuck we're celebrating. There's nothing rocket science about that because somewhere on your email is going to say, hey, I'm a real estate agent.
Okay,
so as long as that connection is made, okay, it doesn't matter what the hell you talk to people about because you got to remain in communication.
I like that. So let's role play this right now. You're doing a video. Let's call it 4th of July video. What are you saying in that video? Action.
4th of July, I'm probably doing events, especially with COVID just ending out. Now there's an opportunity. My subject line is probably, are the fireworks happening this year? Yes, they are. Here's where. Great. That's probably going to get more opens because we all been caged like animals for the last fucking 2 years. Now, in the email, I'd say, hey, happy 4th of July, you guys. Everything's finally getting back to normal. And if you haven't noticed, fireworks are actually back this year. So I'm not sure if you're ready to go outside yet, but if not, I want to at least tell you where they're at because this is a big deal. We've been caged up like a bunch of animals. So anyways, here's where they're at. They're in Oceanside. They're in Encinitas. They're there. On a serious note, you guys, appreciate what we have here. Our country stands for freedom. Honor our troops. If you see someone in the street, say thank you to them, please. Thank them for their service. It means a lot. It goes a long way. Thanks a lot. That's it. Peace. I'm out. I don't have to talk about real estate. Short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah.
But you could take stupid holidays and just do like Groundhog's Day. I remember one year I recorded a Groundhog's Day the day after the Bears lost the Super Bowl. And I said, yeah, I had a groundhog and I opened it up with an F-bomb. Groundhog's there and I just punched this groundhog. And that's how the video opens up. I'm like, yeah, fucking Bears lost the Super Bowl and the groundhog didn't see his shadow. So it's a double whammy for you folks here in Chicago. because winter was going to go on. But it doesn't matter what you talk about. You have to remain consistent. You just have to do it in a different way. Now, then you have social. There's a third component. Email, direct mail, and social media. Those three components are where people will see you every time.
And the social, are you just basically reposting all the stuff you're doing plus mixing in the photos and the memes and the whatnot?
Yeah, so what you have to realize is that there's different reach per platform. Like, we think that if we post a video on social that all of our friends are going to see it. But no, statistically only 15 to 18% of them are. So when people say, I'll create more content on social, but I know it's not annoying because not everyone's seeing it. It'd be annoying if I sent 16 direct mail pieces a month. It'd be annoying if I sent 8 emails a month, right? But we're sending in correspondence based upon the receivership rate and engagement. So 1 direct mail piece is okay a month because, great, everyone's going to touch it, all right? Email 1 to 2 a month. Not everyone's going to open it, but if you use off-the-wall subject lines and if you start using like video email, we're getting north of 40% because we're sending it not to a cold list, but to our database, our sphere of influence. And then your social will get more engagement with the more you start telling stories and stop making statements. So stop saying just listed, just sold, and start saying, hey, this dude just got his first house for his daughter. She got her own bedroom. Here's how. Like, people will listen to the story behind it versus the actual sales pitch behind it. You don't have to sell your stuff. Your friends will sell it for you. You just have to remain relevant. You have to remain in conversation. And that's why content creation is necessary to build a brand. It doesn't have to be on video. I just showed you direct mail.
Right.
Right? You
I
have
love
to
it.
create
I think
something.
the three-pronged approach that you kind of just broke down for us is optimal. I mean, it hits them from land, sea, and air, and the message isn't boring real estate stuff like market updates and look at what I just sold. It's more like cool, funny, attention-grabbing stuff that you would really just send a friend.
Let's walk through tangibility and see so people can envision it. So let's just say we have 200 people on my direct mail list. There's 200 people are getting 12 touches through direct mail that year. All right. Now, the people who are on my direct mail list are probably already also on my email list. They're probably also friends with me on social. So they're seeing me in several places, not just direct mail. If your email list is usually about double, 3 to 4 times the size of a direct mail list, usually what we see. So if my email list, if I'm sending out 1 to 2 emails, probably 2 a month, the same list, that's 48 emails a year to 300 people. Plus, I'm doing about 12 to 15 different social posts on my social media profiles that reminds everyone I'm in real estate to the 1,500 people I'm friends with. Are you going to do more referrals? Are you going to do more business? 10 to 15% of people who see your content are moving this year, and every single one of them have a referral for you. So the value is in building a wider reach of people to stay in front of. Every time you create content, there's an opportunity for that.
Beautifully said and great advice.
It's attraction, not sales. Lead generation is different.
Yeah.
People want to generate leads. Great. I love generating leads, but we're not talking about generating leads. We're talking about remaining in conversation with the people who are responsible for the vast majority of business. And that's it.
Exactly. And so just to piggyback on that as well, let's talk about calls to action, because I'm not hearing a lot of calls to action in any of this stuff. So are you at some point in these videos and posts saying, holler at me for that real estate market update? Or like, how are you
look at,
or is it just I'm hitting them, my name, it says Realtor over and over again?
I don't have to sell my friends. I need to remind them. So they're going to return to you anyways, and the statistics show that. So you could do like, say, a soft call to action if you are maybe on your direct mail, not even, because it's going to have your address, your website, your phone number. Your sales pitch is already on there. You don't need to say anything to them. Your emails, I used to say at the very end, and thank you again for all your referrals and repeat business. You guys constantly support me each and every month, and I appreciate you. It's how I feed this little kid, buy diapers for that dude over there, and keep on moving. So if you have any more, keep them coming. That is a sales pitch, but it's so easy to say that.
Fantastic.
Then, and thanks for watching another episode. Peace out. So that, and even on your emails, like, there's a reason why everyone says your referrals are greatly appreciated. It's a standard realtor like tagline. Great, keep that shit, because you have to tell people how you generate business so they can help you.
That's good. That's the undercover call to action. We like those. Okay, cool. So I want to kind of transition a little bit I know video is like the key to your success, let's call it, and the bread and butter of your business and the bread and butter of your content strategy. I also know you do a lot of like really wild videos, and so I want to talk about your approach to creating new videos, like where you're coming up with topics and ideas, and then I want to jump into like the nitty gritty on how we're getting more eyeballs and stuff on our stuff.
Content longevity is a big reason. It's a big mishap, and not everybody's going to create the same type of content just because they're not wired to. So like if we're talking about video specifically, some people might be good for business owner interviews. Great. Some people might be good to create community stuff. Other people are better on green screen. It just depends what your strategy is, but you have to determine that strategy before you get started for that reason. Otherwise,
That's a very
you're
important
gonna
distinction.
you can't. There's so many people that'll like go, oh, I saw this guy create this video, and then they just go out and copy the script, but it doesn't mean anything for them. It just, you could feel it. Like your content, like when somebody's like just speaking at you, you're just like, this guy feels like a fucking hollow like shell right now. You know, there's nothing there, and you have to do something that's authentic because you can't fake your own authenticity. You can't outsource it either.
Right. And so that means, just to put a bow on that, like we saw Jay Shetty speak one time, and he broke down like the 8 different types of content and just really getting clear on your style and what you're comfortable with, and then running with that style. Because to your point, some people are better on a green screen. Some people are better not even being on camera and doing like walking tours. And some people are better doing the interview style. So really figuring out and dialing in your style and then running with that is what I'm hearing you say.
Well, yeah, if you're going to create, like, for example, a show, the script doesn't change, the story does. So, like, let's just look at, I like using the Guy Ferrari example, Diners, Dives, and Drives. And that's a show, right? It's a restaurant show, but he's not describing, like, 5-star Michelin restaurants or going to sushi places. He's going to Grease Pits of America. So he knows the theme is restaurants and food. We know our theme is community and real estate. So that's already done for us. But it's what type of content are you going to create within the community, and how are you going to do it is what people remember. Mm-hmm. So Guy Ferrari does Grease Pits, and he's the perfect host for that. That's why he's got earrings and tats and all that shit all over him, and he looks like a dude. Well, he's a perfect guy for it. You wouldn't see a guy in a suit creating that type of content, but that's why Guy doesn't have 5-star Michelin restaurants on his show. So you have to figure out what that is, and it's usually what you do on the weekends. So if you're a family person,
oh, I like that line.
I'll give you
what you do on the weekends.
Here's a good example. Like in Chicago, when I was selling, in my single days, I lived downtown, like the cool neighborhoods where all the hot spots are at. So in Chicago, that neighborhood tour I did in Lincoln Park back then was probably focused on the hot chicks, nightlife, entertainment. Today, the same neighborhood tour is focused on the kid-friendly restaurants, the schools, and the parks. Mm-hmm. So it's about, I'm not doing anything differently. The video would have the exact same effect. The only thing that's changed was my brand, not the script.
Good distinction.
So there's something like that for everybody. Everybody has like a niche, if you will, that they'll feel more comfortable in. But once you create that, it's very hard to run out of things to say. Like, let's just say I was going to do a community tours, and I'm in Chicago. Great. There's like 100 communities. I have content for the next 2 years. I just discovered just one type of video to create. Mm-hmm. I could do the same thing with businesses. The question would be, what type of businesses am I going to create content on? Kid-friendly ones or military-friendly ones? Or ones people get drunk at? What's the difference? It's a theme. Right. So you can't create ongoing videos without first defining your theme. Yeah. Once you have that, it gets very easy. Mm-hmm. So it's all about dialing in your personal brand.
Create your box and then find the right peg for your box.
Yep.
Love that. Now that let's say we've created our video, we're dialed in on the type of, videos we want to run with. Let's talk about getting more video views, because I think that's where a lot of people get discouraged. They'll do a new YouTube video and they'll post it on YouTube and it'll get like 3 views. And obviously that's disheartening. I think part of it is because they're doing 1, 2, 3, no one cares street videos. But let's talk about how to get more views and kind of like high level ninja tactics that you use. For
YouTube specifically, it's all the type of content you're creating. So a business owner interview isn't going to get shit on YouTube. Like no one's going to YouTube like, dude, let me see the donut shop over at 123 Cherry Lane. No one gives a fuck. Like, just not doing it. But that business owner interview will go gangbuster on Facebook because everyone supports the local community. So where you get 5,000 views over there, you might not get on YouTube. So again, it goes back to defining the strategy. If you're going to create content for YouTube, it's going to be community driven. It's going to be the pros and cons of living in content, moving to content, tours of the community, because that's what YouTube's based upon. So doesn't mean those other videos are bad to do. They're just used for different reasons.
Makes sense.
Real estate content is horrible on YouTube. Like people are like, oh, I'm going to go out and create a video on interest rates and closing costs, and I'm going to become the next creator. No, you're not. No one's going to fucking look at that shit. I can tell you straight up. But that video is great for your website because you take that video, you tie it to your drip campaign, you use it in conversation with people who have questions. And it's just a different strategy. So there isn't a universal strategy. There's a best practices for each individual type, but it starts by the type of content you want to create first.
I like that. And that's a common theme I'm hearing throughout the interview here, is getting clear on that style and then the audience that you're creating for.
There's no longevity without it, and then you therefore don't have a content plan. So like this show, look at what Oliver did for the show. First thing he did is had to come up with a name. How did you come up with the name? You sat there and you thought about it. That's why I created a video series name, right? So what's Founders Club about? Entrepreneurs, right? So it makes sense that he would have a show called Founders Club because he's talking about entrepreneurs. So for real estate agents, I like creating a show that defines sort of what the show context is. So for example, we have a mortgage broker in Tampa, St. Pete. He is not talking about interest rates. The name of his show is called Hounds, Hops, and Houses. The guy's talking about fucking dogs and beer. Right, and he's just
probably what he does on the weekends.
That's what he does on the weekends. Every video, he has a book called Kick Butt Mortgage Guy or something. So it fits his brand to have a show about that, but he also finances people's houses in their community, so he should have a community-based show. He just has to be more relevant. So lost my train of thought on that, but there isn't a universal individual, you do this way, and it's going to work for everybody. Another example would be, if you had me create cooking videos right now, I'd look all fucking awkward in them. You would still think I'm an expert because I'm on video, but I guarantee you that I would not be able to create more than 7 of those because I would run out of shit to say. So I'm not excited about that strategy. I want nothing to do with it. It's just not going to work. So you have to first define who the hell you are, and then you create content around that. That's how it becomes long-term. Otherwise you'll never build a brand with it.
Yeah, and back to liking it, which is why you do what you do on the weekends.
Yeah, you like interviewing entrepreneurs. You probably have an interest in that. You're an entrepreneur, so it makes a lot of sense. But you doing
it doesn't feel like I'm creating content right now. It feels like I'm talking to another business owner, and I'm getting strategies, and hopefully everyone else is getting strategies, and it's a win-win. Yeah. I like that.
And everyone has one of those. They just have to figure out what it is. Yeah. And it's whatever you're doing on the weekends usually. That's
a great distinction. Very good. Let's talk about some of the wild stuff you've done and how that's gone, because you've done stuff like real estate agent gets cheated on, X-rated real estate video, and like a Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga parody.
Yeah.
Singing parody. So talk to me about why you chose to do those and how they went.
Each of those were a trend. Lady Gaga was just trending at that time, and I couldn't get that damn song out of my head, so I just rewrote the lyrics because I thought it was people were just heard it, and as a matter of fact, people still won't listen to that song because they say I ruined it for them. I'm like, that worked. That's a win. But. What was the other one? The cheating one? That was on Cheaters.
Yeah, and X-rated real estate video.
Yeah, that was also a commercial. So Cheaters was a show, and I know I always hear the term people would get cheated on by the real estate agent, so I thought of Cheaters, and then we reenacted a Joey Greco cheater scene. But the other X-rated video was a commercial that someone brought to me, and we turned that into content. So all of those are examples of other stuff that already existed that were just retwisted and posted into our own way. So there's always something that you could create, but you just have to watch other people. I need to do a better job of doing that. I don't do it enough, but there's so much content that people have that you could always recreate. But I would pay attention to trending events, newsworthy relativeness stuff. So like that Valentine's Day launched around Valentine's Day, the cheating one. What else was there?
X-rated.
Yeah, we also did the Chicago Bears one. That was in the Super Bowl. Remember they had we the head shaving with John Fleming got his head shaved on that video. That was a fun video, but that was relative to what was going on in the Super Bowl at that time.
Yep.
So you have to look and see relative events and just what other people are doing that are creating a lot of stuff, and just have to be funny with it. They do way better, but they're a lot more work. Creating those, they're exhausting.
Bigger production, for sure.
There's lots of planning into those. Like you got like script, maybe not so much on all of them, but script, review it a couple of times by a bunch of people, plan out the shots. So yeah, they're a lot more work, but they pay off. Here's a good question people always ask. Should I create more content or the right content? I'm like, well, if you have one viral video, let's say one video viral, define whatever, 10,000 views, 40,000 views. Val's got like 100,000 views. Organic video, right? Right. Which one has more impact? Well, Val will tell you that one organic video has impact today, where she goes to events and she's like, hey, you're that lady in that porn video is what they tell her. But Val's so cute, she could pull it off.
You have to explain this video real quick for the people that don't know, because it's hilarious what you two did, and I know it's gotten.
Can you splice it and play it right here? Should we be doing this?
Yeah, Mike, as long as we're careful, nobody will ever know. It'll be our little secret.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
If you're not ready, don't worry about it. No pressure.
So what you just saw there in the video clip, Val took from, that was the commercial concept came from, it was just on Shark Tank. It was the dippers. It was a commercial that was already in existence, and it was about the dipping sauce holders. Okay. So Val calls me. She goes, oh, this is so funny. And the video opened up in a scene of a guy and a girl in their car, and they're like, should we really do this? Is this going to be too crazy? And it sounds like they're about to have sex, but they're really just about to dip their chicken nuggets in the sauce. So we took that intro and just applied it to real estate, and the rest of it was just sort of fell into its own place.
I'm so excited. I can't believe we kept it a secret.
That video, what's interesting is people say, Mike, I want to create 10 videos. Sometimes one video will last you 3 months. It's not more content, it's more impact. So that one video, I would rather have one of Val's videos of that than have 40, 50 view videos. Because it just had a lot of impact. So people always ask that. And it's worth doing if you have the time, energy, and creativity to pull it off.
So for the people that are skeptical, right? The people that are like, haven't done video yet, aren't really embracing it. Let's talk about what they can do to get a quick win to get them over the hump. Because I think for me, videos changed our business, both on the real estate side, the brokerage side, what we're doing right now. And I know content and videos changed your life and your business. So what can people do to just go out and get a quick win?
Yeah, I mean, do you want the painful response? I'll give you a painful one first and then the nice one next. Okay. The painful one is if you don't, someone else's. I mean, it's no longer optional. I mean, it's just what the truth of it is. The second painful response is, would you hire you off your own website? And go to your website and just look at it and be like, would you hire you off of it? When people go to your website, they're not there to search for properties. They're there to search that they fucking picture themselves sitting in the car with you for the next 3 months while they make the biggest financial decision of their lifetime. That's why they're really going there. So you have to, that video and that getting in the video allows people to see how you roll, not what you roll with. They know you sell real estate. They're more interested in how you do it. So that's the painful points. An easy one would be, go on right now and just go on Facebook Live, and this will force you to do it. Just say, I'm going to make a commitment, and I wanted to apologize to everyone and realize that I haven't done as good as a idea or as good as a job as I should, really showcasing you what goes on in our community and showing you that I'm a real estate agent. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw myself out there. I'm going to commit to doing at least one, you guys could decide this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos a month or whatever the commit, a week, you make it. And if I don't hold myself accountable, I'm going to force you to. So I'm going to force myself to do that. Here I go. Boom. Just sort of like a accountability challenge to yourself. And that'll be your first win because people will probably come out and
Engage.
They'll engage like, you're so good. Like, do it. We want to see more. And that should give you the motivation you need to get off your ass because your friends, your people love you. You just have to let them.
And show them.
Yeah. Be vulnerable. Like, people love vulnerability. Just be vulnerable and show them that you need help and show them that you want to hold them accountable. And trust me, they will.
And in addition to that, what are some like low-hanging fruit, like no-brainer videos that people should do for their marketing funnels? For their buyers, sellers, leads, etc.
For lead gen, well, you have to have an about video. Any Grant Wise will tell you that. Any of the Facebook ad guys will tell you that. They do this at a high level. You have to have an about video. They'll also tell you that you need a case study, something with social proof, testimonial, someone else selling your shit because you doing it does no justice. What other people say is like really powerful. And then third's a bit of content, a bit of demonstration, a bit of, hey, this is why you should trust me. So for real estate, that could be in Chicago. I'll give you a good one. Hey, I realize you clicked on one of my landing pages, or I realize you clicked on my website, but for whatever reason, you don't want to speak to a dude yet. I don't know why, but here's something you do need to know, especially if you're thinking about buying in the city of Chicago. Did you know that Chicago has $7.50 transfer stamps per $1,000 spent? Yeah, this is a closing cost most people don't tell you about unless you're a dude. But that's why I'm here, because I realize you're probably seeing a bunch of different real estate agents. So I want to send you a piece of content on my website that I just created, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how this closing cost works so that you're not caught blindsided when you decide to buy a house. And in the event, just maybe take the date with a dude, you could call me.
Beautiful.
Enjoy. Peace.
Beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
Simple.
It's really good.
Just rattle that off,
Right.
and then you have a bit of content. But that's usually what they'll say is all the marketers will say you need a 3-video funnel.
And the 3 are
About
me,
testimonial,
and which is someone else selling about you in some sort of story fashion.
and a bit of demonstratable content. And then that Facebook they're 9 months out, so it's not a matter of like they're way out. Mm-hmm. So you have to have, those are the 3 I see all the time.
And then last thing to put a bow on these video marketing stuff is turning them into ads. Let's talk about that. Are you when you run ads through, let's say, YouTube or Facebook, are you creating ads, or are you just repurposing the videos that you're already doing everywhere else and just running traffic to them, or are you not doing that at all?
So I'll talk how I would do it as a real estate agent. For Facebook, I would every video should be promoted to your sphere of influence, your database, whatever your custom audience is. If you're driving traffic, add your website audiences to that and engage audiences. Those 3 are just staying in front of.
So you just dropped some real gems right there, and I'm not sure everyone caught it. So let's rewind that. You're talking about inside of Facebook, you can go in, you run ads. The 3 audiences that you're targeting are your database, which you've uploaded from emails and cell
customer
phones.
list, technically.
Customer list, we'll call it. 2 was your retargeting people that have hit your website list.
Yep.
Which is something that they'll get a piece of code that's automatically generated from these retargeting services. They put it on their website. It automatically tracks, and they can build that list through Facebook.
Yep.
And then 3 was
people who've engaged with your page. Basically, they watched something, they've liked it. Just people who've engaged.
People who've engaged. Okay, so those are the 3. You set the ad, you upload the video, and you run to those 3.
Yeah, and if you're just running like a branding campaign, essentially, that's all you need to do is you hit the boost button and you just take it right to those audiences, because you're just saying, hey, don't forget I exist. Don't forget I exist. If you're running to YouTube, I upload every video to YouTube organically. Some videos will get views, others won't. Just depends on what your strategy is. But for video ads on YouTube, I only run unlisted. for the most part.
Okay.
Because there's specifically a call to action video. So like the ads on YouTube are strictly sales pitch.
More salesy
because you're getting way more aggressive. It's not, you can't market your database, like for example, on YouTube ads until you've spent a certain threshold, which most people haven't spent yet. So it's hard to market your database. So the only thing you can really market on YouTube ads is going to be farm community, or lead gen of people who are highly targeted, it's a great place to do that.
Okay, I lied. One more thing about YouTube. So let's talk about YouTube for a second and getting more views on there. I know that thumbnail, title are kind of like the paramount things that it looks at. Do you have any other tips on how we can...
Yes, lots that we've seen over the last year. So, and my channel's guilty of it. So I've had struggle building my own channel, and the reason for it, and I just have to build a new one is the answer, but I'm too lazy and I haven't. But the reason for that is because I've had this channel since like 2014, 15. And I used to have real estate content on it. I've had long form content on it. I've had webinars on it. I've done this, I've done that. And it never really had a strategy behind it. So even when I'm trying to get more organic on my own reach, it's difficult because I have to go back and do that. So I had to delist all these different videos and do all this different work to my thing. What I've seen is that we have some people that have a similar situation where they actually had a channel that they had before, and they have a bunch of these like 30-second videos or 20-second videos, like a bunch of shit that no one watched ever. And it appears, and this from what I'm reading too, it's very hard to just, this does this, this does that. You talk to a million people, they're going to be a million different answers. Definitely. But what I've seen is that the brand new channels that we start out the right way are the ones fucking crushing it. And the ones that we start out the exact same way without, or that had some history, call it, don't crush it the same way. So we've seen that direct correlation happen with virtually everybody, whereas now I'm telling people, like, look, if you have a channel, we're going to start off, and if YouTube is a part of that channel and you want YouTube to grow, like you're looking for that organic views and that type of strategy, we should probably start fresh. And we've had a guy that crushes it on YouTube, but his channel, he should be the #1 Denver channel, because he has so much different types of content on the back end. He's just started his new one, so I'll have a better case study in about 6 months. But I'm pretty sure what's going to happen.
Back on that.
I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen with him, is that because we started fresh and we started publishing consistently, you're hitting it the right way from the get-go. Right. Sharon did that with his Instagram channel. That's sort of what I relay it to.
He bankrupted his old one and just started from scratch. As painful as that is, but then it took off after that. So I think that's kind of the moral of the story.
Yeah.
But isn't there also some weight to having an aged channel?
I don't know. I don't know the right or wrong answer to that.
The content, you're at YouTube, let us know because we're curious.
Yeah, the content is very specific. Like at least when we're creating for realtors, and it's always we know exactly what to create, which way to create it, and there's always you shoot this video first, that video next. But beyond that, those are the only videos we ever see rank on YouTube, and they're very specific for that strategy.
Okay, so we'll have to do some more diligence. If you know anyone at YouTube, put them in the comments, tag them, share it, whatever you got to do. What about your favorite tools and apps for running all of this stuff that you're running, video content, making your life easier in terms of being a real estate professional out there in the streets, making the content marketing easier?
Well, I don't really have many tools. I think if you want to start getting content, you need an editor. It's like it's a waste of time. It's a non-money making activity. And I'm not saying that to plug my shit. Feel free to contact us, but get someone to do it, because you're not going to make more money editing more videos. Plus, you won't have it. You most likely won't do it unless your skill set's there. A great way that would require it, anyways. You know.
So quick plug for Mike, because everything that we've talked about, he's kind of famous for having as a done-for-you product for realtors, brokers, lenders, investors. If they want to learn more about you and your services, where can they find out more?
Sure. Realestatemarketingdude.com is our website, and you could feel free to move around there, and I'll follow you around the internet after you do.
There you go. Cool. So check that out for sure. I heard you say get an editor. Some easy ways for editing. We just actually discovered today an app called Viva Video that Jeff Fitzer told me about. It uploads all the clips real easy. You can put themes on it. It'll mix it all up. There's another app that was the GoPro app, but they changed it to Quick Video Editor that does also the same thing. Like you'll just upload like 5 clips or whatever, and it like does it all for you. So maybe check that out.
Sweet. Yeah, I like that.
Anything. And Whipster for video editing. Did you get on that yet?
We did. The team thought it was too much work. Another system they didn't want to learn. But I like it.
It's been a game changer. Is it not a game changer?
It's pretty nice.
What about Sweet Assist? I know that's your new project. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Sweet Assist is a all-in-one end-to-end solution for brokerages. Transaction management is a big component of it, but within it, the database marketing aspect of it mimics our conversation today. That's really what it does. It can automate direct mail to your sphere of influence. There's a video email component. You could easily create your own videos and send them off to your sphere of influence, and then you just got to take your content to social. So Sweet Assist was originally built to implement the model I just walked you through, and that's just launching here soon, and we'll have the individual agent version available 6 months, 4 months. But for brokerages, it's wide open to give to their agents.
Cool.
So get involved.
Check that out, sweetassist.com, realestatemarketingdude.com. And if you have any questions, put them in the box down below. Definitely circle back with us. If you like real estate and you like money, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one.